You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good at killing demons. Really good. So good, Zariel, the Archdevil herself, made me her personal attack dog.
We're diving into one of the most formidable figures in Baldur's Gate 3, Zariel, the Archduchess of Avernus. From her fall from celestial grace to ruling the fiery depths of the Nine Hells, we'll explore her transformation, the immense power she wields, and the vulnerabilities hidden beneath her infernal might. But what drives an angel to embrace damnation, and how does her story impact those who dare to defy her? Stick around to uncover the dark truth behind her rise and the fate awaiting those bound by her influence. This is one deep dive you won't want to miss. Zariel's story begins in the Upper Planes, where she served as a Solar, a powerful angelic warrior whose duty was to protect the realms from the encroaching darkness of the multiverse. As a paragon of celestial might, she epitomized justice, loyalty, and valor. She watched over the Blood War, the eternal and brutal conflict between demons and devils, fought across the infernal planes. This war, a struggle for supremacy between chaos and tyranny, raged perpetually in the Nine Hells and the Abyss, consuming countless souls and spreading devastation that threatened even the boundaries of the Upper Planes. She, however, was not content to remain a passive observer. As she looked upon the carnage, she became consumed by the thought that intervention could turn the tide, not only in the Blood War, but in the protection of the entire cosmos. She believed that with her divine power, she could bring an end to the conflict that risked spilling into the mortal world. This conviction led her to break away from the counsel of her angelic peers, who warned that interference would only invite doom. With unwavering resolve, she assembled an army of mortals and celestials, determined to march into Avernus, the first layer of the Nine Hells, where the bulk of the Blood War raged. Her descent was a sight to behold, a golden host clad in radiant armor, wielding flaming swords and banners emblazoned with holy sigils. The skies of Avernus burned as she and her legion clashed with hordes of demons and legions of devils, their battle cries echoing across the desolate, blood-soaked plains. Yet, despite her valor and unmatched strength, her crusade was doomed. The infernal plane's very essence was designed to twist and corrupt those who dared to tread its blasted landscape. The ceaseless tide of enemies battered her forces, wearing them down over days, then weeks. The turning point came when betrayal struck from within. Some of her mortal followers, fearing for their lives and promised great power by the devils, defected and turned against her. The legions of Avernus, commanded by the cunning and calculating Archdevil Bel, capitalized on the chaos, cutting through her forces with relentless precision. Finally, surrounded, bloodied, and driven to the brink of despair, she faced a choice: death or submission. It was Asmodeus himself, the Lord of the Nine Hells, who offered her a path that would preserve her life at the cost of her angelic grace. He admired her ambition and saw potential in her relentless pursuit of victory. Torn between her righteous fury and the realization of her failure, she chose to surrender her divinity in exchange for the power to continue her war on her terms. Asmodeus transformed her into an archdevil, granting her dominion over Avernus and naming her its ruler. Her angelic wings blackened and burned, now replaced by skeletal, tattered vestiges. Her radiant armor turned to spiked obsidian, reflecting the fires of hell she now commanded. Her heart, once pure and devoted to celestial justice, was consumed by a vengeful zeal to crush demonic forces and prove her worth. As the Archduchess of Avernus, she became the embodiment of wrath and power, leading her infernal legions with the same fervor that once defined her celestial self. But the price of her transformation was steep. The echoes of her former angelic self lingered within, tormenting her with memories of purity and valor that she could no longer reclaim. This inner conflict, though hidden behind a facade of dominance and cruelty, made her a complex figure, both feared and respected by those under her rule. Zariel was a relentless warmonger, driven by an insatiable love for battle and a fiery obsession with combat. Her respect for others was measured by their prowess on the battlefield and their willingness to wield it. She valued zealous fury as much as discipline, leading her troops with unwavering determination and an iron resolve that left destruction in her wake. However, her boldness often bordered on recklessness, as she relied on berserker rage and sheer determination rather than calculated strategy to achieve victory. Her appearance mirrored the devastation of her soul, an angelic figure scarred by fire, with pale, grayish skin and red wings. Her eyes glowed with an intense white light, capable of setting her enemies aflame with a single gaze. A wreath of fire encircled her bald head, and she wielded a spiked flail in place of her missing left hand, along with the hammer Matalotok. Clad in black and red armor trailing in tattered cloth and adorned with dangling chains, she stood as a menacing figure, a manifestation of both fury and loss. Her love for battle, her recklessness, and her relentless aggression defined her, as did her unwavering alignment to lawful evil. Zariel's abilities and traits showcase her as a near-deific force, blending unparalleled martial prowess with the infernal powers granted by her fall. Renowned for her unmatched combat skills, she could defeat a Balor in single combat, requiring only moments to recover afterward. Her infernal powers, granted after her descent, added layers of devastating magic to her already formidable physical capabilities. She wields fire as both a weapon and a tool of destruction, capable of summoning fireballs, walls of fire, and even igniting foes with her blazing gaze. Her ability to alter her form and cast spells like Finger of Death and Blade Barrier demonstrates the dark versatility of her magic. Her touch, once a source of healing, now poisons and debilitates her foes, afflicting them with blindness and deafness. She can see through magical darkness, teleport at will, and resist most magical and physical attacks. Her resilience extends to immunity against cold, necrotic, and poison damage, as well as being immune to fear, exhaustion, and charm effects. Despite her terrifying power, her fall stripped her of divine awareness and true sight, replacing them with the devilish ability to see through magical darkness. Her weapons, including the flail and the hammer Matalotok, are wreathed in flame and deal devastating damage, with the latter unleashing bursts of cold to freeze her enemies. Her possessions are as fearsome as her abilities. The Sword of Zariel, hidden by her loyal general and companion, embodies her celestial essence, capable of transforming those deemed worthy into an idealized angelic form. Her most dangerous tools include massive flying fortresses powered by souls from the river Styx, one of which resembles a colossal blade and is telepathically controlled by her alone. Her legendary and lair actions further enhance her dominance. She can unleash an immolating gaze, teleport, summon devils, or even create horrifying illusions that frighten her enemies. Her lair, warped by her infernal magic, emits the stench of burning flesh and the echoes of tormented screams, creating a hellish domain that reflects her rule. Her immense power is counterbalanced by her impetuous and wrathful nature, making her a devastating but sometimes reckless adversary. Her abilities, forged in the fires of Avernus, position her as one of the most formidable archdevils in existence, feared across the multiverse. Zariel, the Archduchess of Avernus, has made significant appearances across various Dungeons & Dragons media, enriching the lore with her complex character and formidable presence. In the adventure module, Baldur's Gate: Descent into Avernus, she serves as the central antagonist. The narrative delves into her tragic fall from grace and her current dominion over Avernus, the first layer of the Nine Hells. Players encounter her intricate schemes and the moral dilemmas surrounding her quest for redemption or further damnation. While she is not a direct character in the rise of Tiamat, her influence is acknowledged, highlighting her prominence within the infernal hierarchy and the broader conflicts involving other archdevils and deities. In the comic series A Darkened Wish and Infernal Tides, her presence adds depth to the storyline. Her interactions with key characters and the unfolding events showcase her as a formidable force, reflecting her complex nature and the consequences of her actions. These appearances across different media underscore her enduring role as a central figure in the Dungeons & Dragons universe, offering fans a multifaceted view of her character and the impact of her actions across various storylines. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the fiery depths of Avernus and the intricate tale of Zariel, the Archduchess of the Nine Hells. Whether it's her tragic fall, her fearsome power, or her enduring presence across the Dungeons & Dragons universe, her story continues to captivate and challenge adventurers everywhere. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the lore of your favorite worlds. Let us know in the comments which D&D character or story you'd like us to explore next. Until then, keep your swords sharp, your spells ready, and beware the infernal schemes lurking in the shadows. See you in the next one.